We are sorry, folks. The library is having some HVAC problems. I was kind of hoping that as the sun left us, it would help maybe a little. Good evening, everyone in the audience. Good evening and welcome to this candidate forum presented by the League of Women Voters of Greater Cleveland, the Cleveland Heights University Heights chapter, also by the Heights Libraries and Future Heights. Thank you to both organizations, especially to the University Heights Library for the use of this library space, and to Future Heights for the publication of the voter guide, which will be out in the October 1st Heights Observer. We know you're all waiting for that. We just sent it to press yesterday. We are pleased to welcome all of you here tonight and those who have joined the live stream and those who will watch the recording on the League's YouTube channel. My name is Blanche Valancy. Betsy, Tracy, Janice Foster, and I planned this forum along with our chapter chair, Wendy During, and the support of dozens of volunteers, many of whom you see around the room tonight. We want to thank the 4 candidates who are giving their time tonight to help us understand the race for 3 seats on the University Heights Council. Recording forums is an expense, and you will be able to see this on YouTube almost instantly after we're done tonight. If you find it valuable to attend or to view these forums, please consider making a donation. We have a donation box on the table on your way out this evening. You can also make an online donation at lwvgreatercleveland.org/donate. In the lobby, you will also find helpful League members with voter registration, vote by mail forms, and League membership information. Want to join our mailing list? There are slips on the seats around the room. Just fill out your contact information, leave it on your chair, and after you exit, we will pick them up and we will get you on the mailing list to send you information of future League events. We've got a lot coming up in the next year. I'm pleased to present our moderator for this evening, Susan Taft. Susan has been interested and engaged in pro-democratic action for several decades. After retiring from Kent State University as an associate professor in 2015, she has devoted more of her time to work with the League of Women Voters of Greater Cleveland. She now lives in Pepper Pike, but for more than 20 years lived and raised her children and next door in Cleveland Heights, which she still considers home. Susan?
Good evening, everyone. It's hot in here. I'm going to take my jacket off in a few minutes, so any of you who have extra layers on are welcome to do that also. I will be your moderator for this event, a forum for the candidates running for University Heights City Council. I want to thank all of you for being here, for making a concerted effort to become fully informed voters for this local election. Local government has a major and direct impact on our daily lives. But unfortunately, local elections consistently have the lowest voter turnout of any. The League of Women Voters is a nonpartisan political organization recognized for its impartiality and its respected role in promoting informed and active participation in government and advocating for good government policies. We do not support individual candidates or political parties, but we do take positions on issues that we have studied. When we have a group of members studying an issue, they can recommend that we take sides on an issue. And a good example of something that we have supported over many years than I like to think of is we want to stop gerrymandering in the state of Ohio. So we have opposed it I've worked on it for 8 years. So that's an example of an issue that is really about good government. It's not about one political party or another. Although there are people lined up on both sides. The League is valued by voters, candidates, and elected officials because it insists upon and makes possible the fair exchange and expression of views upon which democracy depends. The work that the League does is made possible by member dues and donations and the incredible dedication of League volunteers. If you are not a member, we definitely encourage you to join, and men are welcome. This evening's forum is being live streamed, as Blanche said. The audio recording will be available later tonight at the League of Women Voters Greater Cleveland website. To locate it on the website, you click on the Resources tab. When that opens in a drop-down menu, then you click on the League of Women Voters Greater Cleveland forum videos from the menu. And it will be available, Louis, an hour or so after the forum? Oh, so it's live streamed now, so it'll be available immediately after. Okay. Before we begin the forum, I would like to review some of the rules that the League creates for these forums. First, please turn off all your cell phones and avoid taking photographs. No sharing of forum audio or video clips on social media is allowed. We do not offer candidates the opportunity to rebut each other. We ask candidates and their supporters to refrain from expressions of support, such as clapping, cheering, wearing partisan items, groaning, or otherwise expressing personal views inside the room. There will be any campaign materials that candidates brought placed outside the room, which are available for you to look at and take. This is a forum to hear and question the candidates. It is not planned as a debate between opposing candidates. And if you still have questions after tonight's forum, please feel free to hang around. And I assume most of the candidates will be here to answer questions and engage with you after the forum is over. You can also look at the extensive information about these candidates that appears in the upcoming voter guide, which is coming out October 1st. And let me just say, your voter guide for the Heights is incredibly wonderful as a resource. I live in Pepper Pike, and we have no such resource. Most communities have no such resource. So this is the hard work, again, of Heights volunteers putting together election information for you. If you see any people, it's what's the name of the organization? Future Heights puts it together. Future Heights puts it together. If you see any members, please thank them for the hard work that they do. At these forums, each candidate must appear in person and at the time slotted for his or her race. We do not allow any stand-ins for candidates. Each candidate will have a 2-minute opening statement, and then following the question and answer period, which occupies most of tonight's forum, a 2-minute closing statement. For both the opening and closing statement, candidates will stand at their place at the table. For the question and answer period, I ask them to just remain seated because it's too much up and down, and confusion for them and the audience. So they will remain seated at that time. Question and answer is going to be with you, the audience members, who are both present, and we have virtual people watching, and some people submitted questions ahead of time, so we already have questions. So this is the audience that is going to be engaging with tonight's candidates. The responses to questions will be from the candidates and limited to 1 minute each. Time limits are strictly enforced. Our timers, we have 2 timers up here, will give the candidates 15 and 30-second warnings and a signal when it's time to stop. And I forgot my gavel. I forgot my gavel's in my purse, so I do bring that out if I have to. We do ask the candidates use the table mics available and share. You have 3, so please share with each other. Hold it right up to your mouth. Only written questions will be accepted, and questions are to be succinct, addressed to 1 or more candidates. Most of them should be for all the candidates, and everyone will have an opportunity to answer. Oh, again. So please raise your hand if you would like a card to write a question on. And when you've filled it out, raise your hand again, and a league volunteer will pick it up. And things may occur to you as we go forward, so keep a card available in case you develop questions. Our league screeners review the submitted questions in order to avoid duplication, provide a diversity of questions, ensure readability for me, and appropriateness. As you formulate your questions, please keep in mind that the candidates have answered 5 questions already that were posed to them and are reproduced in the voter guide coming out the 1st of October. So these are the 5 questions, each of them answered. How will you work to serve the diverse populations in our city fairly and equitably? What are your thoughts about the future of environmental practices and sustainable infrastructure in our community? How will you work to keep our community safe? How will your safety goals be best achieved at the administrative, legislative, and community levels? That kind of question takes more than a minute to answer. So try to break it down if you have a long question like that. Describe your view of the respective roles of the administration and city council in city government, and how do you think they should work together? You're hounding me today.
Lots of great questions.
Good. And finally, do you think the University Heights administration and residents are well equipped and prepared for severe weather events? If not, what improvements should be made? Now, those questions are answered already in the voter guide. I tell you that because you'll get complete answers there. But you can ask parts of those questions tonight if you want to have a live question answered here. So this is just to let you know the resource that is available to you in the voter guide. Again, I ask the cooperation of the audience in avoiding expressions of support or opposition to any candidate during the presentation time or answers to the questions. And we ask that you refrain from making statements in your questions that are submitted. You, the audience, is here to learn from the candidates. You'll have your say when you vote. So tonight we have 3 council seats open and 4 candidates. 3 of the 4 candidates running are incumbents seeking a second term. They include Christopher Cooney, Brian King, Sherry Sachs, and Vincent Stokes. And Sherry Sachs. Vincent Stokes is running to unseat one of the incumbents. He also ran for our council seat 2 years ago. This race is nonpartisan. University Heights Council is made up of 7 residents elected at large to staggered 4-year terms. They establish the laws and oversee the budget of the city. Each council member chairs a committee that is aligned with a government function. The council positions are for 4-year terms with a salary of $9,100. And everybody can see your name cards. So please remember to raise your hand if you want a card or if you need one picked up. Candidates now have 2 minutes for their opening statements. They have drawn numbers to determine the order in which they speak. And they're sitting in that order. For closing comments, we have reversed that order. So they will start with Mrs. Sachs. Okay, Mr. Cooney, do you want to start with your opening statement?
Sure. Yes, thank you. Hello, good evening. My name is Christopher Cooney, and I'm excited to be part of this great night. I'd like to thank the League of Women Voters for hosting this wonderful event. My wife, Alicia, and I moved to University Heights in 2003, and I was delighted to have been elected to City Council, beginning my term serving in 2022. My family and I have enjoyed University Heights with its close-knit family neighborhoods, convenient and walkable access to nearby business districts, and strong school systems. My experience and skills as a small business owner has translated well to City Council. I look at issues with an open mind and cooperative spirit to collaborate with my fellow council members to help improve our fine city. I appreciate the diversity of this community and will continue to strive to maintain a city that is welcoming and inclusive to all. The multicultural aspect of the city is one of our great strengths and should continue to be embraced as a significant asset. I'm excited about the current projects that are happening in our city, including new facilities for City Hall, the fire, police, and service departments, updating our zoning code, and the redevelopment of Bell Tower and the Fairmount Circle with JCU Gateway North. I have thoroughly enjoyed the last 4 years being a member of City Council, including being the chair of the Recreation Committee, a member of the Building and Housing, Safety Committee, and Service and Utility Committees. I have listened and learned from my fellow council members and how all of us want to continue to make University Heights a wonderful place to live. I look forward to the opportunity to continue to serve as a member on your City Council. Thank you.
Mr. Stokes.
Thank you to the League. Good evening. My name is Vincent E. Stokes II. I grew up right here in the Cleveland Heights University High School District. I attended Wiley Middle School in the late 90s, early 2000s, long before terms like SEL and anti-bullying were widely used. In 6th grade, I was bullied. What I didn't know then was that my classmate was in foster care, with both parents being incarcerated. What he didn't know was that both of my parents at that time were incarcerated too. We shared more in common than we did different. But what I did know was I did not like being bullied. My grandmother told me the only way to deal with a bully is to face them. So one day, after being tripped in the lunchroom in front of the entire 6th grade, I got up off that linoleum floor, looked him in the eye and said, That's the last time you're going to put your hands on me. He was surprised. The students were surprised. I was surprised. But in the words of Fannie Lou Hamer, I had gotten sick and tired of being sick and tired. For the last 4 years, University Heights City Council has been bullied by the executive branch. When council members don't vote a certain way, the executives takes to social media, spreading uncivil and hateful attacks. That same platform even called me a MAGA supporter and a huge disappointment. Imagine that in 2025, a white man calling a black man a disappointment for not following him. For the record, I have been a registered Democrat since 2004. I am a Democrat, not foolish. And what we don't need are council members who are more loyal to party than to people. That's why I'm running as the unendorsed Democrat, unbought, unbossed, and unbiased. The citizens of University Heights are who I answer to and who I advocate for. That means keeping backyard trash pickup, year-round services for seniors. That means common sense zoning that protects our city character while still making transformative ways. My name is Vincent E. Stokes II. I'm running for City Council.
Thank you. Mr. King.
Good evening. First, I want to thank our sponsors tonight, the League of Women Voters, Future Heights, and the Heights Libraries. I'm proud to be a member of all three of these wonderful organizations. 4 years ago at this forum, I talked about 3 priorities I wanted to work on in council. First was redevelopment of our limited land resources. We've come a long way together. University Square is becoming Bell Tower Center with 200 apartments on the way. John Carroll has their Gateway project on the way with new businesses. And an Aldi grocery store will open soon instead of a fast food drive-through restaurant. I wanted to use my IT professional experience to help the city. Recently completed a project to upgrade the live streaming capabilities for the city. If you tried to tune into the meetings before, the sound quality was poor or it wasn't streaming at all. Now the sound quality is crystal clear and the audio is always live. Finally, wanted to support local environmental action in the city. One of the first things I did on city council was connecting the city with Rust Belt riders for composting at the Walt. I also sponsored a resolution for the city to join a Power Clean Future Ohio. They've helped us make our first greenhouse gas inventory and climate action plan. Looking forward to the next 4 years, we need to find the right balance with residential and commercial zoning interests. We need to pave more roads and pave them more quickly. And I promise you, I will continue to be a calm, thoughtful voice on City Council. Thank you, and I look forward to answering your questions.
Mrs. Sachs.
Thank you. I am Sherry Sachs, seeking re-election to University Heights City Council to continue serving you. Thank you to the League of Women Voters for tonight's forum. That's not where you're in it is.
Should I start over?
Yes.
Okay. I'm Sherry Sachs, seeking re-election to University Heights City Council to continue serving you, the residents of University Heights. Thank you to the League of Women Voters and our sponsors for tonight's forum. This is a pivotal moment, an exciting time for University Heights. I work for University Heights residents to fix our roads and sidewalks, to review zoning codes, to plan essential, sensible municipal facilities, to seek economic opportunities and regionalized efficiencies, to update our city's gems, our parks and pool, and to continue working on sustainable initiatives. My track record of legislative achievements during my first term demonstrates that I get things done through dedicated service to our entire city. An example is Ordinance 2024-12, which finally addressed the recycling issue that went unresolved for years. Just one of the laws I introduced and sponsored as chair of Service and Utilities Committee. My commitment to UH is solid as I serve on the Safety, Recreation, Community Outreach Committees, in addition to being a member of the Community Beautiful Corporation. I attend city meetings, as many as I can, even though I might not be a member, to understand issues, context, and intention when voting on our taxes. I engage in due diligence by inviting experts and visiting sites firsthand to collect relevant information. I read residents' opinions and concerns into the public record when they cannot appear in person. Our city charter has a nonpartisan mandate that allows robust, honest, depoliticized, and effective communication and discussion by a diverse council at large. That is the key to our success. This is a pivotal moment, and it's an exciting time for University Heights. And I look to you for support to continue working for you. Thank you.
Thank you. We will now move on to the question and answer portion of tonight's forum. And I am going to call on the various candidates in various orders. There will be no rationale to how I do it. So this is where a little bit of disorder is allowed. So let me start with Mr. King, okay? And then we will go to Mrs. Sachs, Mr. Cooney, and Mr. Stokes. What is your stance on making the city more pedestrian and bike friendly, especially around Cedar Warrensville and near John Carroll University?
Yes, thank you. Pedestrian safety is very important to me. One of the things I think that we could do to increase pedestrian access on our roads is having a better tree canopy on Warrensville Center Road and Cedar Road. Right now, there's no shade for people walking, and it's not in a very inviting environment. Going back to safety, I think we need to address perhaps the speed limit on Warrensville Center Road. We're looking at making it hopefully into more of a business area for the city. Perhaps a 25-mile-an-hour speed limit would be more appropriate there. But also limiting it to 2 lanes instead of 4 lanes of traffic, adding buffers for bike lanes. Those are some things. Thank you.
Mrs. Sachs.
Thank you. Yes, I walk a couple of miles every week. Well, it's a little challenging the second, but in about 2 weeks, I'll get back to that. Biker friendly it's very important for people to be able to access all the wonderful corners of our city. But I think we can think a little more creative about how to do that creatively. That will require engaging the residents, asking them what would be important to them, how we could accomplish that. We have 2 corridors, main corridors, Warrensville Center Road and Cedar. Instead of building the bike lanes on the outside like normal, near the traffic, maybe we make a boulevard on Warrensville Center Road and have the bike lane down the center, which would be really safe and would connect John Carroll University with our downtown, our city municipal areas. We're looking forward to mixed use on those corridors, and that will help people walk to from where they live. Thank you.
Mr. Cooney.
Great, thank you. One of the ordinances that was passed approximately about a year ago was we are now allowing e-scooters throughout the city of University Heights. The thought process was that, with the development of Fairmont Circle, and you look at Cedar for what's going on there, also with the upcoming zoning code update that's going through, trying to create Warrensville Center Road as a boulevard, the use of e-scooters for transportation and trying to reduce the automotive traffic and encourage walkability, bicycles, but also e-scooters. If you look at Warrensville Center Road, from Shaker Heights to South Euclid, which is at Cedar, it's 4 lanes. It's all asphalt. If you look at what they do in Shaker Heights and where it begins in South Euclid, it's actually a boulevard field where there is green space in the middle of it. By redeveloping Warrensville Center Road with the new zoning code and looking at where can people walk, where can the pedestrians walk, we could hopefully reduce traffic, reduce the speed, increase the use of bicycles and e-scooters, and make it more walkable.
Mr. Stokes.
Thank you for the question. I support making it more pedestrian friendly. I used to live in New Haven, Connecticut, went to Yale, where everybody crosses at one time. And I realized that that was a very wise thing. They stopped traffic for everybody and everyone got to cross. And after they cross, then traffic got to go. I think that would be wise on Cedar and Warrensville. It would require us to work with South Euclid, but I think that would be wise. I also believe that we do need more bicycle lanes. I don't ride a bicycle. I walk more than I ride a bicycle, but bicycle lanes do need to have their place and they need to be safe as they're riding their bicycles. I also support continuing to make it a boulevard if that's what council is agreeing to do. I think that would be wise and I think that would be a very beneficial to the citizens of University Heights.
Thank you. Second question, and we will start with Mr. Cooney. What is your stance on trash collection as it currently is versus switching to a system similar to Beechwood and Cleveland Heights?
That's a great question. It's a great topic because it's usually at the block parties we get to hear about that. I like backyard collection. I have to admit it. It's convenient. I can pull the can out 10 feet and the trash gets picked up. The recycling, curbside recycling, for me has been a game changer. Being able to load the cart every other week, bring it down to the curb, we get taken away is really, it's easy. It's actually not that difficult. Right now, we have about 65% and growing of households in University Heights that opt in to the curbside recycling. What I don't like about backyard trash pickup is expensive and it's hazardous. Last winter, our service workers could not go out to collect trash because it was too cold. All the other cities that had automated curbside pickup, the drivers were in the carts, in the cabs, safe, and they actually got their trash picked up. It's expensive. And I would just like to see a robust discussion to see, should we move to fully automated curbside pickup to go with our recycling?
Mr. Stokes.
Thank you. I had this conversation this afternoon with a resident and they said it and I agree with them. We pay too many taxes and our tax money pays for backyard trash pickup. And I agree with backyard trash pickup and I think we need to leave it exactly how it is. We do get to take our recycling bins up front once a week or every other week. And I think that is sufficient, but I think we need to keep backyard trash pickup. My grandmother's 92 years old. She cannot bring her trash up front. And if I'm not home, who's going to take it? And I think about not just only my 92-year-old grandmother, I think about all the other 92-year-old grandmothers that live in University Heights who will then be forced to bring their trash up front. And I think we need to leave it like it is.
Mr. King.
Thank you. So it's one of the most unsolicited feedback I get from residents has been how much they like the new recycling program. A question that comes right after that is, why don't we do that for our rubbish as well? Frankly, right now, we have a trash department, not a service department. One of the other biggest complaints we get is the quality of our roads. Right now, our service workers are really only able to get out there on Fridays to fill potholes or to seal the roads up. If we moved to automated trash pickup, that would free up resources in our trash or in our service department to be able to do more work for the community.
Mrs. Sachs.
Thank you. This is near and dear to my heart. As chair of the Service and Utilities Committee, I'm so proud to have built consensus to unanimously pass the Loose Recycling Services Ordinance 2024-12. So predicated on that were 2 surveys, and most of the residents in both surveys said they wanted to maintain backyard collection. If you recall, I said, I work for you, I work for the residents. True, there were about 35% who wanted the curbside, but most wanted that. The vast majority wanted to improve recycling rates, and also want to maintain service levels. So I want to say, as far as expensive, I presented this 5-scenario financial spreadsheet and had it reviewed by our service director that shows pretty much no change in cost between automated curbside and what we currently have. The only difference is to let go 7 service people. Thank you.
Next question, and I'll start with Mr. Stokes and then go to Mr. King, Mrs. Sachs, and Mr. Cooney. With Ohio passing laws that restrict DEI programs at the state level, how can council ensure our city remains inclusive and welcoming to all?
You said DEI, correct? Okay.
That's right.
I'm a Black man living in America. So I walk in this every day. I think we need to have space where people are allowed to be who they are. People are allowed to walk in their truth, and people are allowed to stand firm in what they believe without being harassed, without being killed, without being treated differently. I think the city can do that by, one, continuing to advance our own DEI, our own ways of advocating for diversity, equity, and inclusion. I think it's important that we call it diversity, equity, and inclusion, and not just the initials DEI. I think the city can do that. We can pass ordinances that affirm what we believe, and we have done that. We can continue to have hiring practices that allows for people who have diversity, equity, and inclusion to be a part of the city and city government and city conversations.
Mr. King?
Thank you. I'm very proud of the anti-discrimination amendment that we made to our charter 2 years ago. It's inclusive and covers a broad range of people. I think we also need to take care of our school children in our public schools. They're under attack from the state government, and we need to be able to support them as a city government. Thank you.
Mrs. Sachs?
Thank you. I can't mention it enough, but our nonpartisan charter mandate lends itself to robust, honest, depoliticized, effective discussion by a diverse council at large. I am honored to have endorsements from our diverse current and past council. By having people around the table who represent different walks of life, we can come to a great consensus of how to be sensitive and representative to our community. I'm also very moved by Councilwoman Wynn Weiser, who spearheaded a resolution opposing anti-Semitism during these turbulent times, supported by council and the mayor. And I too supported the charter amendment for gender neutrality and anti-discrimination mandates, which is where we start with our city charter. Thank you.
Mr. Cooney?
Thank you. If you take a look at a current makeup of city council, it's very diverse. We come from different parts of the city. We're not all part of one district, but we really represent the true colors throughout the city. I did support the charter amendment that did pass regarding gender neutrality throughout the ordinances. And if you look at, just going to the block parties, when I talk to those that are there, it's small walks of life. It's up to ourselves, because we're now the adults in the room. And we look at the children and we're trying to bring up this topic with them. It's important to recognize that they will basically react as to what they will learn for how we react to certain issues. So with the anti-discrimination policies within the city, the gender neutrality charter amendment that went within the city, I was proud to support that information and try to continue to support our diverse community throughout from east side to the west side.
So I'll start with Mrs. Sachs on the next one. This is a follow-up question. Equity is a priority for schools and community groups. How can council ensure LGBTQ plus residents and other marginalized groups are fully protected in housing, city employment, and public services. So this is carrying your answer into those specific locations.
Thank you for that very important question. Everybody has a right to live the way they want to live in our beautiful city. Our council is open to public comment from everyone. I read into the record things that people would like to say, stands they would like to take when they cannot be there in public. I think it is critical, whoever wants to come forward, whoever wants to be on a committee, whoever wants to serve, should be welcomed with open arms, no questions asked. Come, we will engage you. We would love your representation, and then we can protect everyone that needs to and move forward in a spirit of good faith and positivity. Thank you.
Thank you. So if you kind of going back to the previous question, it's very similar. But if you look at even like the street I live on is Miramar Boulevard. Even on Miramar, we have all walks of life that live there. Our block parties are well attended by the residents. We like to get together. Sometimes to stay up too late, going into the night. But being able, when the kids in the neighborhood, they see that, and they see how we interact with each other and how we support each other, even in these casual environments. It does provide, to me, that provides hope for what we're going to see down the road as well. The school system should support that. We need to support the schools. We need to be welcoming with our neighbors for those that move in. We need to know like who they are, what do they like, and a lot of times we'll find ourselves, we have these impromptu backyard socials that are occurring in my backyard or even my neighbor's backyard. It's just a great way to get to know each other. So, again, our council is very diverse. Our neighbors are diverse. We should continue to support that.
Mr. Stokes.
Can you reread the question?
I was going to offer. Equity is a priority for schools and community groups. How can council ensure LGBTQ plus residents and other marginalized groups are fully protected in housing, city employment, and public service?
Everyone deserves to be safe. Everyone deserves to be seen. Everyone deserves to be heard. I think with this question, keeping in line with what I said before, I think what council can do is put forth policies, put forth legislation that codifies that we are entrenched in this equity to protect not just LGBTQ plus, but all people in regards to diversity, equity, and inclusion, and making sure that in the code, we make clear that we do not discriminate, making sure in the code that we make clear that we do not make a difference because someone lives differently than we are. We all are humanity and we all deserve to be treated as that.
And Mr. King.
Thank you. When it comes to protecting LGBTQIA plus students, our youth, I think we need to work closely with the Heights School District. A number of years ago, 2-3 years ago, they came to us with a resolution to support or to actually against state legislation that was endangering LGBTQIA plus students. Our council refused to take up the matter, and I was very disappointed by that. I think that we need to be better partners with our school district and better protectors of our children by supporting them. Thank you.
I will start with Mr. Cooney this time. Related question, an interesting question. What criteria should be used to determine what flags should be flown from the City Hall flagpole?
The criteria, at a minimum, the United States of America, state of Ohio, Cuyahoga County, and the city of University Heights. Um, Unfortunately, as council members, we get feedback from some residents if a different flag is on the flagpole. And it's not meant, I don't think this city should represent one side or the other in regards to issues that doesn't have a direct impact on that issue. Because at the end of the day, we're all residents, we're neighbors, we're friends, we're coworkers with each other. So having, when one flag gets put up that may not be representative of the city, the county, the state, or the United States, can be interpreted as it being exclusive to another group. And we keep talking about inclusivity, we keep talking about diversity, and I think we should focus on the flags that have a direct impact as to what matters to us. Personally, if you support a different organization or something else, you want to fly a flag, you should obviously feel comfortable that you can display that flag.
Mr. Stokes.
Thank you. I think, again, as with the previous two questions, we should embrace all identities, but I think that we should fly the United States flag. We should fly the state of Ohio flag. We should fly the University Heights flag. And I think when you begin to get down in the weeds, everyone has a flag, and we'll just have a flagpole full of flags. And I think we need to come up with the unification of it, leave it at just those three, and the council can put forth proclamations to embrace whatever the issue is for that month, whether it's June and LGBTQ, whether it's May, or whether it's March with women, whatever it is, we can put forth a proclamation and show our support in that way instead of having to fly all the different flags. But I support it.
Mr. King.
Thank you. So we obviously fly the American flag. Other flags that I'm aware of that we have flown have been the Progress Pride flag and the Pan-African flag. I think that representation of minority communities in our city is important, and flying these flags is a way to do that, especially with attacks that have been made from the state government. We need to let people know that they're being seen and that we support them as a city. Thank you.
Thank you again for that question. One of the things that our city council has done, which I agree with, is to stay focused, laser focused on local issues. Because when we veer off onto state and federal issues and international issues that don't directly impact us, if they directly impact us, then it's a local issue. But if they're general and widespread like that, we will leave someone out. We will unintentionally offend somebody, and we want to be inclusive. It may go against what I personally believe or anybody else does on council. So we have personal properties. We can fly our flags. We should do so safely. We have passed anti-discrimination and inclusive ordinances and resolutions. And I do believe in those resolutions. Okay, thank you.
So I'll start with Mr. Stokes this time, then Mr. Cooney, Mrs. Sachs, and Mr. King. What do you see as your personal strengths that will help you serve effectively on council? And what are your limitations where you would rely on collaboration with other council members? So they're asking for your strengths and your limitations.
Thank you. One of my strengths, I believe, is being able to work with diverse people. I said this at the last time we had this. I pastor a church. And as a pastor, you have to work with deacons in my denomination. And you don't always see eye to eye. Let me tell you, you don't. But when you don't see eye to eye, you have to come to a consensus and move forward in that consensus. I'm able to do that on the ecclesiastical level, and I know I can bring that type of civility to council as well. One of my limitations is, unlike these other three people, they have legislative experience in working on council. I would rely heavily on the experience of my other council members because I've never been a city council person. But I'm willing to learn and willing to try, and being able to learn from their experience and learn from what they have done will be helpful for me in executing the job that I'm being elected to.
Mr. Cooney, your strengths and limitations.
Thank you. One of my strengths is I take from my professional world is very process focused. There's a plan, we have to do the plan, and there's a way to check it to make sure it's working. One of the things that's come up recently as chair of the recreation committee, we're getting good information regarding the maintenance of the pool that's occurred or unfortunately has not occurred over the past 30 years. And we've seen some issues with the pool the last couple of weeks, which is going to lead to some significant changes for that, but also the pool infrastructure that has to change. Some of the limitations, I just don't know everything that's going on with my fellow council members. But what I do get out of that, when we have robust discussions, we do talk about the issues, I'm able to listen to them and hear what they have to say so I can understand what's their point of view, what's the background, fill me in on the story. So even though I don't have the full story when something gets brought to council, that's why we have the committee meetings, because I understand my limitations there, but I do try to get that information from them to help me make a good decision.
Thank you. I hold 2 licenses. I'm a registered licensed dietitian and a licensed nursing home administrator. I'm a grants officer. I'm an award-winning professional. I've secured over $60 million in grants, managed over 300 employees at one time, and over $10 million budgets. I have a lifetime of community service, advocacy, volunteering at top nonprofits. And I've lived in the city for over 30 years, raising a blended family of 6, including a Heights High graduate. One of our kids loved being here so much that he named his company after our street. So I speak up, I speak out. I have a lifetime of advocacy. I have a policy of ABC, policy to advocate through listening and addressing concerns in a timely manner that benefit our University Heights residents using our tax dollars efficiently, through collaboration to make University Heights inviting where all families, individuals, and businesses can thrive. Thank you.
Mr. King.
Thank you. I like to think that I bring a calm analytical mind to City Council. We all also have our own professional experience that we bring to City Council. In my experiences as an IT professional of over 25 years, I've been able to use that to help the city. But we also have on City Council, and forgive me if I leave out a profession, but a grants writer, an accountant, architects. We all bring skills to the table, and we're able to use those to help the city and move us forward.
I will start with Mr. Cooney.
Do you want to start with Mr. King and Mrs. Sykes? I don't think they've gone first.
You're suggesting a different order?
No, I'm just want to make sure they have a chance to go first. I'll go first. You mentioned something.
Why don't you go ahead and go first?
That's fine.
We'll have Mrs. Sachs go first the next time.
That's fine. Thank you.
It's an unusual question. What do you see as the top 1 or 2 issues currently needing attention in the city? What will you do to address them?
We had a great council meeting the other night. One of the top issues, especially when we go to block parties, when is my road going to get fixed? We all drive on them. We see them. It's a source of frustration for some residents. We received a great report from our city engineer. And unfortunately, 60% of our roads were identified as either serious or failing. We've spent approximately $1.2 million on the roads the past 4 years. Just to fix the roads, we need to spend at least $1.9 million to try to maintain or keep up. That does not include curbs. So we need to take a step back. We need to improve how we approach road repair. We need to provide the service department with the equipment they need to help maintain the roads to get longer life. But we also need to understand that, spending the same money for something that costs more is only going to keep getting you further behind. So I'm glad we have that information. I'm looking forward to improving our road maintenance program.
Mr. Stokes?
Thank you. What I continue to hear is my taxes are too high. So I think that's one of the very top issues. I'm unsure what council can do about that, but I hear that often, that taxes are high and the roads need to be fixed. We pay high taxes and these roads look like we live in bedrock and we work with Fred Flintstone, and we need to fix these roads as soon as possible. What we can do with that is we can spend some more time, energy, maybe hire even some more people so that they can have a good city job with good city benefits and they can fix these good city roads.
Mr. King?
Thank you. Yes, we need to fix our roads. We need to spend more. We need to double the amount of money that we're spending on roads at a minimum, as the report that we just received from our city engineer shows. We have money to do it. We need to spend it. The other important thing are city facilities. We've been squirreling this money away for facilities. I don't think that we're going to be able to cut it, being able to pay for city facilities out of our general fund. And frankly, I think it's not safe doing that. So we need to figure out a way to finance our new city facilities, but at the same time, we need to spend more on our roads now.
Thank you. Well, I came prepared with about a dozen top priorities, and my colleagues, my co-candidates here have said a few. So I'm going to start with respectful dialogue and communication. Residents come first because we work for you. We need timely and transparent communication about whatever we're doing to improve things here and work on things in University Heights. City safety. We have to make sure that the very basics, our city is safe. We have an excellent first responders, police and fire department, but we do need to make sure that everybody feels safe. We read the police blotter and there's a lot going on. Regionalism opportunities, to be creative. We have a prime location nestled between educational, medical, downtown. We need a strategic planning retreat to see where we need to go, and so that our residents and our elected officials and governments employees can work together to move whatever initiatives forward. Thank you.
So we're going to start with Mrs. Sachs this time. And there are questions for the incumbents and a question for Mr. Stokes. So I'll read the incumbents first. Describe a piece of legislation or an issue where you successfully collaborated with the mayor. Please explain how you went about that and the result. For Mr. Stokes, what is a piece of legislation from the last 4 years you would have worked on with the mayor? Or I would give you another option, which is, if you're elected, what's a piece of legislation would you like to work on? Should I reiterate those, or you got it?
I don't know, actually.
I have to remember? Okay, Mrs. Sachs.
Okay, thank you. I am so proud that in my first term, I built consensus and passed 4 pieces of legislation that were unanimously approved by council. 2 of those were fine with the mayor. One was the loose recycling services, which we spoke about, and we were able to work with the mayor and and our administration to come up with the creative way you see it now, every other week with a variety, a couple different can sizes. And we've gone from paying $105 per ton for recycling to getting a $20 rebate. Another one is special collections. The administration came to council and asked to raise the rate of what it costs for bulk collections when you furniture, things like that. They wanted to raise it to $25. We talked about it in committee, and my council colleagues in committee, we came up with the $25 to meet what they wanted, plus keep it at $10 for people, residents over 65 who may live on fixed incomes. Thank you.
Mr. King?
Thank you. I would talk about the resolution I sponsored for the city joining a Power a Clean Future Ohio. I worked with my colleagues on council to get that brought to committee. I worked with the vice mayor. She scheduled a committee of the whole meeting so that we could discuss it, multiple meetings. I also worked with the mayor, met with the organization, with the mayor and Power Clean Future Ohio. And we were all able to get the city on board with the organization. And I'm proud that we were all able to do that. With work from the city's sustainability committee, they've been able to get the city's first greenhouse gas inventory, and now they're working on a climate action plan. So it's been good for the city.
Mr. Stokes, I'll repeat the question. What is a piece of legislation from the last 4 years you would have worked on with the mayor? Or what is a piece of legislation you would like to work on if elected?
I am really passionate about youth and senior services. I want to work on legislation that supports our youth and our seniors, not just part-time, but full-time. I was speaking to a neighbor today. She says that she was going to eventually have to move from University Heights. Her taxes were too high, one. But two, she said, we don't have nothing for seniors to do. And I said, you're right, we don't. We don't have a lot for seniors to do, and we need to do something about that. I have an 8-year-old son who really needs more activities during the year. He has the pool in the summer. Hopefully the pool is open next summer based off of what y'all are saying about the pool. And if it's not, then what does he have to do? Because running around the Walt Park is not enough. So we need to do more around senior services and youth services. And I will work diligently on that and make sure that we have those services year round.
And Mr. Cooney, what you've worked on?
Great, thank you. One of the things that has been worked on was there was a resolution in regards to the use of firearms within the city. What was proposed by the mayor and actually went back to committee was to refine essentially the city council's opposition for the use of firearms in the city and to try to mitigate any responsibilities or promote better behavior essentially at the end of the day because of some unfortunate mass shootings that had occurred around that same time. One of the things that has come out of that is unfortunately we're still seeing that gets put back on the state government because in regards to the laws that have been passed. But it actually was a good example between the administration and council is trying to work through some of the specific details on that, report to the state government in regards to home rule, in regards to firearms.
Okay. Mr. King, I will start with you, go to Mr. Stokes, Mr. Cooney, Mrs. Sachs. How would you ensure council meetings are better prepared and productive in the future with more complete data so residents' time and tax dollars aren't wasted?
Thank you. I think that we should rethink the way that we handle committee meetings in the city. I think I've been to over 30 committee meetings this year. But before our city council meetings, I think we should be having committee of the whole meetings as working sessions to go over new legislation as it's coming up. The committee meetings that we have are just kind of sprinkled throughout the week, throughout the month. They're very poorly attended. I think by having the committee of the whole meetings before city council meetings, we would get more attendance. We could get more feedback from residents. And I think that the issues that we've been handling in the committee meetings, the most important ones would bubble up into those committee of the whole meetings. So this is something I proposed during our last council retreat, and I'd like to see it implemented.
Thank you. Mr. Stokes?
It all starts for me with the committees. I think when you do your research in the committee and you're working with the committee, you're working through the committee, and you're coming to your committee meetings, when you come to the council meeting, you should be well prepared. But if you're not coming to your committee meetings and you're not doing the research on the committee meetings and you're just taking the taxpayers' money and never show up, then you don't get a prepared legislative body. So I think it starts with the committees, working in the committees and doing the work, doing the actual work, doing the research, listening to the people who are asking the questions and working with them to make sure that you get the answers that, one, fit the situation, and two, hopefully that they want to hear.
Okay. Mr. Cooney?
Thank you. One of the things as council members is we get the agenda packet for the council meetings, usually late Thursday afternoon prior to the next council meeting. Over the weekend, we do have time to go through the information and to try to plan for what's going on. I do support Mr. King's opinion that we should have a committee of the whole meeting prior to each council meeting. As we've seen several times this happen over the months, committee chair tries to schedule a meeting, they don't get consensus, and then it goes back out to a doodle poll. If we knew that there was a standing meeting where we could introduce information at the committee of the whole, we'd be on a regular schedule. When you look at the department directors and you look at the police and fire chief, it would actually make their schedule probably a little bit easier versus showing up to a council meeting on Monday, and then they're back at another meeting on Tuesday and Wednesday and Thursday. Sometimes, unfortunately, there are unplanned events for when a committee meeting has to be canceled, and it makes it difficult at that time to get everybody together to schedule the next meeting.
Mrs. Sachs?
Thank you. We have a lot going on. As I said, I had about a dozen things that we're working on, and there are several committees that each of us straddle. To have meetings twice a month, Council of the Whole will not nearly, it won't touch it. It won't give us enough time to do our due diligence. It's true, all too often, we get over 100-page packets on a Thursday, late in the day, expected for Monday, and without having the due diligence done, without having the visitation to where it needs to be, having stakeholders around the table or seeking expert advice. So we need to take our time. We need to have resident input, communicate to them what's going on, and we need to thoroughly see through each and every issue. I don't think it's a rushed thing. I don't think there's a time on it. I think it has to be, some can go faster, some can go slower, but it needs the proper due diligence to get the job done right. Thank you.
Start with you, Mr. Stokes. And the question is, what is your knowledge regarding our local environmental landscape? What is your favorite native plant that grows here, and what is at least one plant from Ohio, one type of noxious weed you would like to see controlled here?
I'm gonna help you out. I don't have one. I don't know one. I'm willing to learn.
Mr. Cooney?
Environmental. I've been going up to the Walt a lot more lately, and it's wonderful to see the growth that's going on there. I've been going around the neighborhood now that we're actually looking at pollinator gardens. We have an ordinance that's in building and housing. I'm now noticing those more. Could I name a specific flower? No. I guess if you look at my yard, my favorite kind of flower is probably crabgrass. So it's been so dry. But in regards to weeds, I guess in regards to the true weeds, I guess my lawnmower just kind of decapitates most of them. That's about as far as I get. But I have learned a lot. Speaking with Mr. King and other residents about these pollinator gardens. What is a weed versus what is a flower. I'm learning, still very, very much a novice, but I do find myself paying attention more as I go around to those pollinator gardens that are in the area.
Yes.
Thank you. This is a great question. It's really a follow-up to the previous ones because the first week of September 2024, council was given large ordinances about trees, weeds, hedges, shrubbery that we were expected to pass on emergency. And here we are meeting a year later because we're getting expert information and input from our city arborist, from John Carroll University's head of the Department of Environmental Science, who, by the way, is having trouble with invasive species. That's an issue. From residents who come, and we have some more. So basically, it's not enough. We need to have really good information, come to us with the information, come to us with the experts, come to us so that we can make the proper thing. As far as flowers, we have zinnias in our pollinator, and the butterflies and bees love them. Thank you.
Mr. King.
Thank you. As many of you know, my wife and I have been volunteers with the Friends of the Wald for 5 years now. So we really enjoy going over there and helping keep the invasive species out of the gardens there. Canada thistle and bindweed are probably my two least favorite weeds that we have over there. But we also have our own pollinator garden in our front yard. We really love the milkweed that's in there. We've seen up to a dozen butterflies at a time. But residents have expressed interest in having their own native natural landscapes in their yards. And I'm looking forward to when we're able to pass our new ordinance on it so that we can give guidelines around what they can do. Thank you.
Start with Mr. Cooney, go to Mrs. Sachs, Mr. King, and Mr. Stokes. Is there an actual plan to deal with the deer?
Oh dear. City, no. I'm not aware of any current plan to address the issue. I've seen, I think, Donner and Blitzen in my front yard many times, but it is becoming concerning to me, especially at the time of year we tend to see more bucks along with the does. The bucks can be, aggressive. I do walk my dog in the morning and in the evenings, and that is a concern. I know that there are surrounding cities. I used to work in Solon. They did have a deer culling program. So there is deer displacement that has gone on, and it continues to obviously impact us. So it's becoming an issue I think we're going to have to address. What and how we do it is uncertain, but obviously, I'm imagining it will start in a committee and then hopefully take something to council for passage.
Mrs. Sachs?
Thank you again. We have dense housing. I believe it's the second most densely housed properties in Ohio behind Lakewood, perhaps. So it's a little sensitive. It's going to take a bit of due diligence to think about the different, maybe more organic ways to help with the deer problem. I know that South Euclid has, I believe, the tagging with the blue earrings. And when we see those, we're supposed to report them, which I have. I'm not quite sure what happens afterwards, but they do wander off into Purvis Park and those areas. I've seen quite a few. So it is a great question, and it is something that we need to grapple with. And I guess in service and utilities, I'm going to have to find its way on one of our agendas. Thank you.
Mr. King?
Thank you. Yes, South Euclid has a program where they're working with the Ohio Department of Natural Resources and Cuyahoga County to sterilize deer and return them to the wild. I think it's a bit more humane way of dealing with the issue than some other cities have done. But I think that program has been having some effect, at least on the northern side of the city. I've been seeing fewer deer in my neighborhood, but I would like to see if that program could be expanded, if we could perhaps join. It really feels like something that could be regionalized through the Heights to get a better handle on the deer population in our city. Thank you.
And Mr. Stokes?
Thank you. If Donner and Blitzen is in his front yard, then Rudolph was in my backyard. But just like Councilman King just said, I have seen less deers in my backyard, and I do believe it is because of what's going on in South Euclid. And I think we don't want Bambi. We don't want the Bambi to happen, and we do want to support natural wildlife. And I think that this allows us for some regionalism. We talk about regionalism a lot, to be able to work with South Euclid and see how that program is working for them and how we could be beneficial for University Heights as well.
And I will start with Mr. King and go to Mr. Stokes, Cooney, and Mrs. Sachs. Please describe how you would balance the need for both business development and changes to the zoning code with homeowners' desire to keep residential areas residential.
Thank you. Yes, this issue is vital for our city. One of the great opportunities we have to increase revenue is to encourage redevelopment on Warrensville Center Road. But we do need to find a balance between residential and commercial interests. We need to get robust feedback from residents. And I think we're going to need to have some big asks of commercial interests coming in. We need to make sure that there's adequate screening. We need to make sure that the lights aren't going into their yards. We're going to have height restrictions, but we're going to have to work together with residents, hear them, and also with interests that want to come in and help develop new property or new mixed-use developments in the city.
Mr. Stokes.
Thank you. For me, I think we have to listen to residents. Their voice has to be primary and businesses' voice secondary. When they brought their house, they didn't buy their house with the expectation that in 10 years that they were going to have an entire new business in front of their house. And I think you have to also have honest conversations with residents as well. You continue to complain about the taxes are too high. This is a way for us to also mitigate high taxes. So weighing those balancing acts and having real conversations with the residents and putting forth real legislation that will keep businesses in line and will not allow them to decimate the culture of what University Heights has become over the last 100 years, but also giving them opportunity to thrive and to grow.
Mr. King?
Thank you. This is an interesting time because we actually have the redevelopment of University Square, which is now becoming Bell Tower, in the John Carroll University Gateway North project. We actually have Warrensville Center Road is going to be bookended by two new projects. There was a recent planning commission meeting. There was a prospectus that was presented in regards to an apartment building on Warrensville Center Road and the corner of Warrensville Center and Hillbrook. And the sense I got that the planning commission that there wasn't really an appetite for what was being proposed. But interestingly enough, there was a resident that made a comment about a development that had occurred in Shaker Heights. So instead of perhaps looking to build up, we should be looking to build more horizontal with Warrensville Center Road. We should look at something that's going to integrate itself within the community. It looks like it's a part of the community as it's something that's sticking out. The economic development project for the zone code and gives us a great opportunity to really kind of take a look at what should we do and how can we do it.
Mrs. Sacks?
Would you repeat the question, please?
Sure.
I want to make sure I get it.
How would you balance the need for both business development and changes to the zoning code with homeowners' desire to keep residential areas residential?
Okay, thank you. So I'm going to start, there's a couple of prongs here. One is revenue, one is zoning, and one is economic development. So with regard to zoning, we have a 30-member committee, and it involves residents, professionals, council, administration. But we've been working nine months on this. I sit in the audience. I'm not on that committee, believe it or not, but I go to the meetings. And they were working on a 48-page outdated document with the mayor in attendance. He withheld a 184-page draft since December 24. So we need to include the residents. We need to have strategic planning. We need to, like I said before, have better communication that's transparent and timely. There are regionalism things that we're currently doing that are working, and we have lots to explore: recreation, programming, training of administrative staff and first responders, aspects of housing and service departments. There's a lot to do in this respect. It works hand in hand. Thank you.
Thank you. I will start with Mr. Stokes. Mr. Cooney, Mrs. Sacks, Mr. King. Will you address the speeding issue on Silsby Road? How?
Thank you. Put in speed tables. My church is on 147th and Kinsman. It's a speedway down the 147th and Kinsman. Councilman Joe Jones and Councilman Kevin Bishop, City of Cleveland, Ward 1 to Ward 2, put speed tables down 147th. It works. They're not speeding past my church anymore because the speed table stops them. Put in speed tables.
Could you say what a speed table is?
A speed table is a small hump in the road. So when you have to slow down to go over it,
Okay, thank you.
or you go flying like you're Batman.
Mr. Cooney.
Great. That's actually a great question. I live in Miramar, and Silsby is, several houses away from me. What I've seen is, especially the last couple of years, an increase in the traffic. The stop sign is treated as a suggestion. My concern when you have kids walking to the pool and somebody's not paying attention, there could be a serious issue. I live this issue. At a council meeting, earlier in the year, I was almost hit by a car because the person didn't stop. The options we need to look at is what's available through NWICA. What are the traffic calming opportunities that do exist? Do we narrow the street? Speed table will be one suggestion. Do we have to have, a reflective light coming from the stop sign that could bring more awareness? Maybe they're not aware that they should stop. This is where I would look at to the city engineer and the experts within the county to make suggestions to help us improve that area.
Mrs. Sacks.
Thank you. When I first started on council 4 years ago, that was one of the first questions that I asked our chiefs. And I was told that those speed bumps, or however we're calling them, could impede emergency vehicles when they need to get to or from a crisis. So I never went any further. I would love to hear more about that and how it's managed in other places. But safety first, that's very important. Recently we had a traffic signal update. And in doing the due diligence between Service and Utilities Committee meetings, I discovered that the CMAQ, Congestion Mitigation and Air Quality Program, also has grants for roundabouts. And so that may be one way of calming small ones, and Silsbee, I don't know, but also near where candidate Stokes lives on Washington, that's a speedway. Oh my goodness, by Staunton. So there are lots of things we can do, and we really need to have an assessment. Thank you.
Mr. King.
Thank you. Part of Silsbee is a county road, so I'm not sure how much we can do as far as speed tables on there. There are other mitigation devices we can put out there. There are speed cushions, which is basically a speed table that has gaps in it for emergency vehicles to be able to drive over them. Their bases are wide enough that they can avoid driving over it. But I think we need to have more speed signs on Silsbee. There are not very many of them. I've actually gotten that feedback from a number of residents. I do think that we could use roundabouts, particularly at the interesting intersection of Belvoir, Renford, and Silsbee. We're all familiar with it.
I'll start with Mrs. Sachs. How will you support small businesses along Cedar and Warrensville so they can thrive and compete with larger developments nearby?
Thank you again. I believe we're at 95% of our retail and commercial development. So we'd really need to look at how to get to 100%. There's been talk about mixed use zoning where there could be residential and commercial walkable that improves walkability, whether there's a coffee shop or something else that's nearby. And I think that aging in place would be helpful also to have single floor residences along there. So there are quite a few things that we could explore to improve economic development. Starts with zoning. It also means resident input, and I think also to beautify. I mentioned a boulevard before in Warrensville Center. There's a lot to do on Cedar and Warrensville with regard to setbacks and so on and so forth. We could do a lot better. Thank you.
You spoke, right? Yeah. Did I start with you, Mr. King? Sorry. Told you I'd make a mistake. All right. So yes, you go. Sorry.
Thank you. I think there's a lot that the city can do to help small businesses, and we already do, I think, a significant amount to help small businesses. We promote them over social media and through our city magazines. I think that's very beneficial. We want to see the success of these small businesses. The rezoning, I think, will help as well, having more mixed-use development. Bringing new residents in to be a built-in audience, as it were, for those businesses would be helpful for them. But yeah, the city could also work to connect small businesses with other resources that are available for small business loans, things like that. We also do have a program for fixing up storefronts, and we could advertise that more.
Mr. Stokes?
Thank you. I don't think it's a one size fits all problem. I think we need to talk to individual businesses and see what we can do to support them individually. I think it's important that we have small business expos, that we continue to expose to businesses, to not just the people of University Heights, but even the people of South Euclid and Cleveland Heights, so that regionalism again. And I also think we can allow spaces for them when we have events like Juneteenth, we have Fall Fest, allow them to have spaces where they will be able to even advertise their business and even maybe allow as the city to give them grants to have tables at these events for free so that they can share their business and even be able to sell some of their products. I think those are three distinct ways we can support small businesses.
Mr. Stokes. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Thank you. I'm excited over the next couple of years as to what's going to be developed. We have Bell Tower, which is going to have approximately 200 apartments being put in. We're going to have John Carroll students, which will now be at the Gateway North project that are not there right now. So when you look at trying to, market to potential businesses, what's going to happen? They can see as to where we are and where we're going to be within the next couple of years. The economic development plan for rezoning is we're looking for mixed use along Warrensville Center Road. And, I would think the University Heights and that particular corridor is going to be very attractive for small businesses. One of the examples I like to look at is I go to Bialy's Bagels. And Bialy's, when I first moved here, was one storefront, kind of grab and go your bagels, that sort of thing. Now it's expanded next door. It's a sandwich shop. They have merch. I never thought I'd see Bialy's Bagels having merch, but now they do. And that is just a good example. We look at other businesses coming in. There's a great opportunity coming up within the next couple of years.
Okay. Mr. King, I will start with you. Go to Mr. Stokes, Mr. Cooney, and Mrs. Sachs. How do you plan to deal with the growing skunk problem?
That's a very good question. My wife almost got sprayed by a skunk the other night. I think we need to work with the county, perhaps with ODNR, see what we can do about finding resources to help residents deal with skunk problems. We need to find where they live. We need to we need to be able to keep them out of living under our homes and our foundations. We need to work together with residents, connect them with resources, and work to resolve it together.
Mr. Stokes.
Thank you. I think we need to educate residents more about what they can do to mitigate not having skunks on their property actually living under their homes. I think education will be helpful for that. But I'm also, unlike with Bambi, I'm also not against euthanizing skunks.
Mr. Cooney.
I'll say it. It stinks. My concern for skunks is when I walk the dog in the morning, especially now at 6 a.m., it's starting to get dark, especially on trash day. You have to be very aware as to what may be hiding around a bag or down somebody's driveway. My neighbor did have an issue last year. I believe they contacted the county, and they were basically given a trap, and they were told eventually they're going to have to, when the skunk goes in there, they have to then get the trap back to remove it. So I don't know how you do that. So throw a blanket over it or something. But it is an issue. We can all, when we're walking around the neighborhood, we can tell when there has been a skunk nearby. What is the best solution? I don't know. I do believe in education. How do you maintain your trash to not have an inviting area for a skunk to appear would be great. But we also have to be vigilant with our neighbors to share that information.
Thank you. I'm going to save you some future questions. Deer, skunk, possums, hedgehogs. Okay. Maybe this is a regionalized situation. There are other places in Ohio that are even more rural than us, even though it feels pretty rural sometimes for a densely populated, suburban area. But trash education is really important. How to dig down below your decks and porches and things to make sure they can't burrow underneath. Definitely the skunks are the boss of our property. Sorry, Billy. But we see them and we know to move out of the way. However, we can learn best practices. This is where due diligence comes in very handy to see what other communities are doing. Do the research, bring it to our committee. Let's see what we can do to our service department, and hopefully we can just do a better job. Thank you.
Start with Mr. Stokes. What is or would be your approach to working with the Cleveland Heights University Heights School Board? And what are your general thoughts on how public schools in our community can be supported or improved?
I'm an educator, public school educator. I took my son today to the Father's Walk at Garrity. My son's in public schools in Garrity. I walked in and I said, "Oh my Lord, Garrity's gym looked like it looked when it was built in 1920." And I said, in regards to that, we need to work with the school district. I worked with the school district this summer. I was on the committee to rename Monticello Middle School the Baumgartner Middle School. I believe that you have to always have collaboration between city and school district. We need to support our public schools. Public schools are funded by our tax dollars. We need to support it, and we need to make sure that our public schools continue to produce a great value for our children. And I think we need to work alongside the school board to make sure that we have safe communities in which the schools reside in. So I'm in support of supporting school.
So there are two questions here that are asking the same.
Thank you.
Thank you. Sorry.
was the only one who answered the question.
Okay, go ahead. It's all right.
Sorry. No.
I'm reading these questions and not paying total attention. I'm sorry.
All right. Thank you. I do believe we need to work closely with our school district and support them. One of the things where we can work more closely with the school district and actually with the city of Cleveland Heights is getting the pool open to all of our residents in University Heights and Cleveland Heights. I'm hopeful with the change in government coming in Cleveland Heights that it could open up the logjam that we have there, that we can all work together, the three of the two cities and the school district, to be able to open up the pools or the pool at Heights High so that all residents can use it over the winter.
Okay, thank you. So over 66% of our residential property taxes support the public school system. There's talk about lowering taxes, reducing taxes. I'm not sure how that plays in. So but we do need a strong school system. It's critical for neighborhood stability, housing values, and most importantly for educating our children. In University Heights, there's almost a 50-50 split between residents who send their children to public schools and to private schools. In our family, we had graduates of both. They're all adult children, but we had Heights High graduate, we had private school graduate, and doing what's best for that particular child is also important. Realizing their abilities and their different abilities. So working with the school board would be welcome. We don't always get open arms from the school board, quite frankly. And so I would welcome that, to work more closely together with our council. Thank you.
All right, Mr. Green.
Thank you. The city and the school district are intertwined with each other. They are dependent on each other's success. If the city can operate effectively, efficiently, and make it a good place to live, we have residents or potential residents that would want to work here, that want to stay here, that want to send their children to those schools. As they send the kids to the schools, they would want to stay. And that's why one success depends on the other. There is a somewhat of a collaborative spirit between the school board and city right now. We hold our city council meetings at Wiley. The fire department does hold training at Wiley School. In addition, the school board has supported some of the events, allowing the city to, there was a sustainability fair that was held in Wiley Gym as well. But as long as the city can remain successful and the school district can provide, the quality of services that they continue to do, then both of us will be continue to move in a positive direction for that.
So we're getting close. We will stop and have finishing ending statements at 7:45. So we just have time for a couple more questions. This is a question I got 2 cards about. And it has to do with support. Do you support a current proposal for 30 million for a 30 million facilities plan? What adjustments or cuts would you make to ensure that it does not result in higher taxes? How do we afford to pay that back? So, Mrs. Sachs, will you start on this?
Thank you so much. We were given a $50 million plan initially, which is out of the question. It contains 16 meeting rooms, 2 theater style, a 400 square foot with full bathroom for mayor's office, copy rooms, which are obsolete. We can do it for much less. We need essential, sensible facilities. We need to support our safety and service for our safety and for morale, so that, again, for our safety. I was at a 100-year anniversary of City Hall last Friday, and the mayor said some things that really resonated with me. The middle of the 3 windows in the ground floor, which is beautiful, was the entrance. I think we could look at that and upscaling our City Hall, rethinking that and making it accessible to people using that.
Okay,
More on that.
Mr. King?
Thank you. I do not support funding new city facilities, $30 million of city facilities out of our general fund. We absolutely need the facilities, but paying for it out of our general fund, I'm scared of what that would mean for our future. The second we have a recession, essential services would have to be cut, and I don't want to see that happen. I think we're going to have to take a phased approach. We're going to have to build, pick which buildings we're going to have to pick or build first, and I think we're going to have to be just very, very honest with the people of University Heights on what the value of the new facilities will be for them, and work with the citizens on how we'll go about funding it.
Mr. Stokes?
Thank you. I think it's imperative that we upgrade City Hall somehow. It's not necessarily ADA compliant. It's a beautiful, and I love architecture. It's a beautiful building, but it's almost obsolete. So we do definitely need to look at a way that we can either renovate that space without costing $30 million, and or maybe working with the school district from the last question and seeing how we might can acquire Wiley Middle School, possibly. But I'm not in support of adding more money to taxes that are already high.
All right, Mr. Cooney?
Great, thank you. I think in a general sense, from the other city council members, we need new facilities. There's no doubt. When I moved here in 2003, they were talking about it then. They were talking about it before. We were not able to hold city council meetings on the second floor because it's not ADA compliant. The cost to repair the chairlift would have been thousands of dollars, and quite frankly, may not have been money well spent. I keep hearing this $30 million price tag getting thrown around, and that could be correct. It could be a little bit more, but some of the reality is, I do have concerns about just going into our general fund for that. We need to look at what else within the city do we really need to do? Because we're thinking about really the 50, 75-year projection as opposed to what's our immediate need. Our fire station and the crew that's there is phenomenal. The facilities that they're in is just quite unfortunate. It is terrible. But how we'll get there, I know that we'll figure something out.
So this will be our last question. I will start with Mr. Cooney, then Mr. Stokes, Mr. King, and Mrs. Sachs. We will not have finished all the questions, I'm sorry to say. I have about 3 more. Where do you see opportunities to work with other cities and/or agencies? What issues or challenges would be addressed? Please do not include current shared work.
Thank you. I think one of the opportunities that that could be presented, when we look at essentially road repair, it seems like different cities they're looking at where do our roads need to be repaired or replaced, resurfaced, and they operate within those areas. We're looking at potential sewer line replacement. How do we perhaps leverage rather than a small section, but something more extensive that could integrate a neighboring city into that? And those are some probably the more immediate visual needs that I see when you talk about going from one city to the other. We have to acknowledge also in regards to our power grid, our structure, the storm that came through last year. There was told a story of a utility worker that came from out of state that was working to restore the power in a neighborhood near me. And they said, "I can't believe you are still using this equipment." And that is concerning. So what can we do between the cities to improve our grid and improve the electrical infrastructure?
Mr. Stokes.
Thank you. On Monday night, I'm in an MPA program at Cleveland State. On Monday, we had this consortium of agencies that came through, and one of them was Northeast Ohio Sewer District, and they gave some great information. I think we can work with the Northeast Ohio Sewer District as well as other agencies and as well as other cities to fix sewer works that might intertwine both cities, such as on Cedar Road, such as on Warrensville Road. I think we can also work with other cities in collaborations and doing some street repairs, like on Cedar Road, like on Warrensville Road. And I think, as I stated earlier, and we all stated earlier, we can work with other cities about this animal control issue and working with them and seeing how they're working through those issues and how we can utilize those resources as well to help us as a city.
Mr. King.
Thank you. I think we can work with our neighboring cities by banding together and going to the state. The state has been cutting back on the local government funds for 2 decades now. I do wonder if we approach them rather than just asking one city asking for their pet programs, if we went together with all of our neighboring cities to look for money for roads, sewers, that we may have a better result working together to stem the tide of those funds being cut from our local governments.
Thank you. It's always wonderful to have an opportunity to be a good neighbor. Regionalism is very futuristic, and to explore, there are many opportunities to explore, whether we go in full force with another city or neighboring municipalities, or if we just learn best practices from them and continue to do our own thing. But there are opportunities for recreation, whether it's senior programming, family-friendly programming, and training of administrative staff and first responders. There are definitely aspects of housing and service departments that we could do a little bit better. And events. We have some wonderful events here, and there are some wonderful events around the city, around the county, but perhaps we can figure out how to afford to do those types of things for our residents. Thank you.
So we will now have closing statements from the candidates. We're going to reverse order with Mrs. Sachs first, Mr. King, Mr. Stokes, Mr. Cooney, and they will each stand.
Well, thank you once again to the League of Women Voters of Greater Cleveland, University Heights, Cleveland Heights University Heights chapter for hosting tonight's event. I am Sherry Sachs, seeking re-election to University Heights City Council to continue serving all residents of University Heights. And as you have heard from our robust discussion tonight and wonderful questions from our moderator, this is indeed a pivotal moment and exciting time for our city. University Heights has been our home for over 30 years, raising a blended family of now 6 adult children. And as I mentioned, a Heights graduate and one who named their business after our street. Love that. It's been an honor to serve on City Council as a member at large, where you've just heard how I implement my ABC philosophy through respectful discussions that put residents first, advocate through listening and addressing concerns in a timely manner that benefit University Heights residents using tax dollars efficiently to improve city services by collaborating to make University Heights inviting, where all families, individuals, and businesses can thrive and can have a seat around the table to tell us what's important to them. I appreciate so much speaking to hundreds of residents, discussing ideas, opinions, and concerns so that we can work together to build upon and to improve city services. If what I shared tonight resonates with you and you want to learn more about my skills, experiences, and accomplishments, please visit friendsofsherrysachs.com. Vote for me to continue representing you on University Heights City Council. Thank you once again.
Mr. King.
Thank you for the opportunity to speak to you this evening. It's encouraging to see so many folks come out to spend their evening engaging with their city government leaders. I want to invite you to reach out to me if you have any other questions for me. I'd like to recognize some of the organizations that have endorsed my campaign for re-election. Some of them are the North Shore AFL-CIO, the Ohio Environmental Council Action Fund, and the Cuyahoga County Democratic Party. I want to remind folks of some upcoming important dates. The registration deadline is October 6th, and the following day, early voting begins. That's either by going down to the Board of Elections or voting by mail. And then, of course, the last day the vote is November 4th. Serving the residents of the city has been an honor of a lifetime. I hope to serve UH for 4 years, for 4 more years with your vote. Thank you and have a great evening.
Mr. Stokes.
Thank you all for coming out this evening. Thank you, League of Women Voters. I believe that University Heights has all the ingredients to be a model city, a city that cares for its youth and its seniors, that protects neighborhoods while embracing thoughtful growth, and that chooses people over politics every single time. I'm not here to be a yes man. I'm here to be your man. I'm here to be the next city council person for University Heights. Together, we can build a community and a city that is not only livable, but is lovable. I am Vincent E. Stokes II, the unendorsed Democrat, unbought, unbossed, and unbiased. I ask for your vote to help make that vision a reality, and you can visit my website at www.vincentestokes2.com. Have a good evening.
Mr. Goody.
Thank you. I would again like to thank the League of Women's Voters for this wonderful event tonight. I have thoroughly enjoyed serving as a current member of City Council. I'm looking forward to continue to develop our current projects that are in process right now, such as the new City Hall, fire, police, and service departments, contributing to the zoning code update, the redevelopment of Bell Tower and Fairmont Circle with the JCU Gateway North project. I anticipate there are going to be more projects coming up in the future, and for those, that's exciting to me. I have residents, when they ask about what's going on, I can name those projects off and say what you see now is for University Heights going to be a lot different in the next 5 years. And that's a wonderful thing to say compared to where perhaps we were in 2003 when I moved in. One of the things I've learned is that, working with others throughout the city, it's kind of gotten me out of my bubble being on city council. I've been able to, share experiences with other council members, the administration, but also I get their feedback as to what's going on where they live. This is really the city of beautiful homes. And as I've gone out, walked the streets, gone to the block parties, it's been wonderful to take that back to the council and committee meetings for that. My friends and neighbors often tell me at many block parties they attend how much they love the city. We are a close-knit community and want to see our continue to grow and be successful. And in the future, we'll make those necessary improvements as they come along. I would like to thank you for your time tonight. My name is Christopher Cooney. I'm grateful to continue to be a member of your city council. For more information, you can find that at cooneyforcouncil.com. Thank you.
We are almost done. Two more things before we leave. First, I would like to thank all the candidates for speaking with us tonight. Very rich session. Secondly, I really want to recognize our volunteers who are here working hard to make this forum possible. I'm going to name them first. Hold the applause and then applaud. So we have coordinator is Blanche Valancy. Our candidate sign-in and literature table was Janice Foster. Question screeners, Mary Ann Barnes, Betsy Tracy, and Brenda Bagby. Voter registration and membership, Carol Spackey. Timers, Paula Goodwin and Janice Foster. And greeters, ushers, question runners included Leah Davidoff, Diana Russo, Monica Gordon Pershey. And not in attendance, but thanks also is the branch manager of this library, Sarah Phillips, and the employee, Greg Osborne, who also helped put this on. So this concludes our candidates. This concludes our candidates night. I would like to remind you that you vote on Tuesday, November 4th. And please feel free to either engage with the candidates or look at the literature that is outside. Thank you and good night.